If you could all stand, please, for a moment of silence. Thank you, and if you could turn and face the flag for the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated. Clerk, would you call the roll call of council members, please?
Lehman. Here. Kodak.
Here.
Cassidy.
Here.
Baker.
Here.
Grine.
Here.
Mendoza. Here. Guernsey.
Here.
Here. Just if you say here real quick, you'll be on roll call.
Just say Guernsey again.
Guernsey. Here.
Perfect. All right, we are all present. Do we have a approval of the minutes of the previous meeting, please?
Second.
We have a motion by Cassidy, a second by Baker to approve the minutes from the previous meeting. Clerk, would you call the roll, please?
Kodak.
Yes.
Cassidy.
Yes.
Baker.
Yes.
Grine.
Abstain.
Mendoza.
Yes.
Guernsey.
Yes.
Lehman.
Yes.
All right, those have been approved. Before we go on, we do have an item in the agenda that needs to be looked at and hopefully amended. The second item under old business, it's titled ordinance. It goes into permanent appropriations. It says appropriating from unappropriated funds in the general fund and the revolving loan fund. The entire ordinance is correct, but there's a typo where the revolving loan fund should say sewer fund on that. So if you're so inclined to make the motion to amend that title, the entire rest of the ordinance is exactly the way it's written. It's just a typo that the revolving loan fund should say sewer fund. Is there any questions on that? It's the second item under old business.
Isn't that the one we need another amendment on as well? To clarify the 36,000?
That was in the ordinance itself. It wasn't in the resolution introduction. That's been revised.
Yeah, but I think that because it's been read, we still need to make an amendment to correct that typo on that as well. Maybe I'm incorrect, but we had a first,
Same one.
right. So I think we need to make an amendment for both of those.
Okay, so would you guys prefer to do that when we get to it? Because we can amend the title right now, but we can't amend the language of that ordinance till we get to it, but we can do both of them when we get to it. So maybe we'll just rescind my request and we'll go ahead and change the typo in the title and then the language within the ordinance when we get to it on old
Okay.
business. So just, at least I brought it to your attention before we moved on. All right, thank you. Communications,
I am none.
okay. Report of the committee's finance committee.
Nothing new to report as far as the Finance Committee. However, we will be holding a special meeting on Monday, March 9th at 3 p.m. here in these chambers. Following roll call, we will be going into executive session for personnel matters,
Okay,
hiring and firing and employment.
Sue, what time is your special meeting on the 9th?
3 o'clock.
all right. So I have you have a special meeting on the 9th at 3 p.m. and you're going to be requesting an executive session after business is concluded this evening. Perfect. Public Affairs Committee.
Upcoming community events include the annual Kiwanis Pancake Day this Thursday, March 5th from 11 to 7 at St. Wendelin Parish Life Center. Buy your tickets at the door or pre-order by calling 419-619-5741. Convos with Council this Thursday, March 5th at 6:30 p.m. at the Deli at Buck's Bar, 230 North Main Street. And Faith Chapel AME Church barbecue, rib, and chicken dinner next Friday, March 13th at 7 p.m., 220 Sycamore Street. The Public Affairs Committee will meet again on Tuesday, March 17th at 5 p.m. here in Council Chambers. Thank you.
Thank you. Law and Ordinance Committee.
Nothing new to report, just that the Law and Ordinance Committee will meet again on Tuesday, March 17th at 5:15 here in Council Chambers.
Thank you very much. Report of officers, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. President. March is Developmental Disabilities Awareness Month, and we have a proclamation to make. Will you please join me? Whereas Developmental Disabilities Awareness Month provides an opportunity to recognize the abilities, contributions, and inherent dignity of individuals with developmental disabilities. And whereas individuals with developmental disabilities are valued members of our communities who enrich our society through their diverse talents, perspectives, and experiences. And whereas building inclusive communities requires collective commitment, understanding, and collaboration among individuals, families, caregivers, educators, employers, service providers, and community partners. And whereas support systems, formal and informal, play a critical role in empowering individuals with developmental disabilities to live self-directed, meaningful, and fulfilling lives. And whereas the theme Stronger Together, Your Support Matters emphasizes that when communities come together to provide acceptance, advocacy, and opportunity, everyone benefits. Whereas raising awareness helps break down barriers, challenges stigma, and promote policies and practices that ensure equity, access, and full participation for individuals with developmental disabilities. Now therefore be it resolved that I, Donald L. Manel, Mayor of Fostoria, Seneca County, Ohio, hereby recognize the month of March as Developmental Disabilities Awareness Month and encourage all residents to recognize the importance of inclusion, celebrate diversity, and reaffirm our shared responsibility to support individuals with developmental disabilities and their families.
Sure, if you'd like to approach the microphone and just go ahead and give us a short presentation, that's fine.
Want to thank you, thank Fostoria for being a truly inclusive community and supporting the Opportunity Center. Sean's gonna,
Go ahead.
okay. We're just gonna review our March events and hope you celebrate with us. We do have Bakery Bingo coming up next Thursday, March 12th. Bingo starts at 5:30, doors open at 4:30. This is a fundraiser for our Unity Council, who supports an annual conference for individuals with disabilities, but it's planned by individuals with disabilities. We do celebrate Rock Your Socks on March 21st. It's for World Down Syndrome, so we encourage everyone to wear their unique socks and celebrate those individuals with Down syndrome. Our celebrity basketball game is at Heidelberg Sieberling Gym, March 26th at 7 p.m. Doors open at 6 p.m. I'm sorry. It's free admission. There's a concession stand. A lot of local celebrities come and play against our Arrows Special Olympics athletes, and it's always a great night. And finally, we have our annual Palm Sunday dinner. It's Sunday, March 29th, 11 to 1 to drive-through dinner. Pre-order for your meals: chicken, ham, mashed potatoes and gravy, green beans, coleslaw, and a roll, and a cookie. It's pre-order. Orders are due by 13th. So we appreciate all your support and thank you for having us tonight.
Dawn, were you going to say anything tonight, or you're more than welcome to?
All tonight.
I always appreciate the inspirational words.
I do work at Riyadh's full time, which is here in Fostoria right now, and it's a really good place to work at.
Thank you very much. Thank you. All right. Do you have anything else, Mr. Mayor?
Yes, I'd like to report that at the cemetery, we have now set up an area for cremains. We have 50 plots, and it's been separated out, and should be a nice addition to the cemetery. Otherwise, nothing.
Thank you. Director of Public Service and Safety.
All right, thank you, Mr. President. I know last week, the weather broke and there was some consternation amongst some folks because we had some, part of our stormwater management plan that we have, a requirement by the EPA is that we go walk along, like the Portage River and Wolf Creek and the ditch out south of town to find any outfalls that may be in those bodies of water. And then we have to record them. And then on a 5-year cycle, we're required to inspect them. And, part of the stormwater management plan is that we have a plan for all of our facilities and how we manage things. While you're starting to see the Jersey barriers at different places because we have to contain any dust or anything or dirt that runs off the stone or anything like that has to be contained in some way. And also at the compost area where we have to try to deal with that leachate in some way, because that's what they call it. If there's any kind of organics involved, any water has to be dealt with in a certain way. And I think there was some worry because of a conversation we'd had talking about some of our plans for this year. We're required to take the vegetation, the trees off the backside of reservoirs 2 and 3. And I think there was a misunderstanding that we were going to do something with the trees along the Portage River. And, that the people that have backyards that go there were a little worried we might be taking those trees down. So really our requirement is anything on the banks of the reservoirs, we have to remove the trees. But once the slope stops, then we don't have to remove the vegetation, so that when we get to the creek, that those trees will all still be there in the future. And so I just want to make sure that everybody had a good feel for the two things are separate issues and weren't the same thing. And then I do have a request for an executive session for personnel, specifically bargaining unit matters. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Director, question. Go ahead.
yeah. I guess it'll be a toss-up question for the mayor or safety service director, but could we have an update on splash pad and the new playground? We're getting close.
Yes.
I mean,
When the weather breaks, Alveda Construction will move back in and finish up what needs to be done at the splash pad. And then we've added a couple of items that have to be installed, and we're looking towards a ribbon cutting in the month of May at some point in time. And the inclusive playground is complete.
And then just to add on there, I don't know if you've been in that area, but excuse me, part of our Hancock County Park District grants over the last couple of years was the bridge and the sidewalks and the slopes to make it more accessible, ADA accessible. Most of that project is complete now. And then our last one that we did is for the fence that'll go around the splash pad that's similar to the one at the inclusive playground. So that'll go up as well. So that was one of the last successful grants. So that's about 3 years worth of Hancock County Park District grants you see right in that one little area there. So we're really grateful for their help.
Thank you. Director of Law.
I have no report tonight. Thank you.
Director of Finance.
I don't have a report, but just a point of clarification. I think the Finance Committee meeting on the 9th will be held in executive session as well because we're doing interviews. So just wanted to make sure that the public understood that there is a Finance Committee meeting on the 9th, but it will be held in executive session.
That's a good clarification because those are the fun meetings where they start publicly. The first thing you do and the only thing you do is go into executive session. You come out of executive session to adjourn, and if you're a member of the public, that's really all you get to see is the start of the meeting, the end of the meeting. So good, thank you. With that, we'll move into the members of the public. And at this time, seeing that Deb is not here, hope all's well with her. We will move into the general public portion. And we ask that anybody that wishes to speak to council just state their name for the record and limit their comments to 3 minutes or less. Did she ask for it? Okay. Okay. You told her that if she wanted more than 3, she had to ask.
Becca Kimball. Address is on the paper. I just kind of want to touch base with what I talked about at the last council meeting. And so I did what Sue had said to do, to go online and to file my zoning complaint. And at first I wasn't able to do it very easy because it wanted you to download an app or whatever. I mean, you can have it free for 7 days, but then the Adobe or whatever, so you could type it up. I'm like, I'm not doing all that. So I typed it up and I emailed it to both of the emails that were on there. And the compliance office, he had gotten back with me and gave me a link to where I could file a complaint another way, I guess. And so I did that, and I've not heard anything. I've not seen anything. The pictures that I had shared with you guys at the last meeting, they have the houses, they've done nothing now. Eric, the tires were taken away like the next day, so thank you. And there was something else. Also the tree I guess is gonna be taken down by my house, so that's another big thank you guys. But I'm just worried about these houses. And the funny thing is, in the meeting that it was either the next day I had went on Facebook and I complained about how these landlords are buying up houses just to leave them set empty and rot. And there was a family, it was a son and a mother, I do believe, that wanted to move from Columbus, Ohio to Fostoria. Don't know if they have family or something, but they can't find anywhere to rent. And I said, that's funny, right after I bring that up, an issue. So we talk about how can we bring money in this town and stuff, and it's, well, I guess we gotta start holding these landlords accountable. And I mean, if they can't keep up with the properties and y'all gotta take it and do what you gotta do, I mean, something's gotta be done. Because people shouldn't be out here homeless when there's homes that could be got. Now, I wanna touch base real quick before you guys kick me off of here, because I know I talk more than I'm supposed to. Uh, I had an issue, this was back in February, I do believe. Yeah, February 16th, where I was crossing the tracks on Jackson and, well, yeah, just Jackson Street, like over Poplar, that area. And there was a rail truck that was coming down the tracks, and it didn't make no whistles or sounds. And the gates, of course, didn't come down because I don't think that they have the stunts or whatever they were called. I looked up shunts to put in there to make it to where they can. So, I mean, it stopped. I stopped, of course, and then it stopped and motioned me, but it was coming down faster than 20 miles an hour. And I think there should be a flagger out with them if they don't have where the gates can come down, because I done a little work and it says 60% of fatalities actually occur at crossings that are passive, no gates or lights. Active warning helps the presence of lights and gates reduce accidents and fatalities by 93%. Last year alone in 2025, 1,870 collisions, 247 fatalities, and 632 injuries. So my guess, my thing is we're a big town of trains, and we're so, we like to be proud of the trains. Well, we need to keep everybody safe as well. And that's all I have for tonight. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Jill Affiliator, 402 West Culbertson Street. Just want to talk briefly on community. We know that we have downtown, we have all the way to the edges. And I find when I'm listening to people in the community saying, well, why are you doing this in one area and why are you doing this in another area? We as a community need to understand we are to be promoting anybody who's trying to do better. And if they want to do it at a ball field, so be it, it's still part of our community. That ball field has great opportunities, great things to be had and done I remember the years when we played the sports over there, and it can go back to being that way when the sports are there. But we get the negative feedback from people. Downtown is starting to try to make better. We're still trying as a community, and it's the negativity that feeds. People are on, and I'm not a big Facebook advocate. My reality is that if you have an issue, you remain silent because the truth comes out in the end. You don't air your public frustrations on personal issues. And I noticed that that seems to be happening recently. And the reality is we should be promoting everybody. It's regardless of, and I'm not saying council, I'm saying the city. I'm talking the members of our community. We as a members of our community need to promote within our own selves. And we might not all agree. We might say, oh, your idea really sucks. But the bottom line, it is our idea, and we are trying to promote it. And we might not all agree. We might agree to disagree on things, but we still need to be positively improvement or silent. The negative stuff that's going around in town gives us a really bad name, a bad reputation. I know that there are things going around within the last 24 hours that are probably discerning to people, but we still need as a community to be working together to promote each other. And that's really all I have to say. You guys have a good night.
Thank you. Any other members of the public wish to address council at this time? Seeing none, we'll move into old business.
A resolution amending resolution number 2023-45 by amending the job description and salary range for the position of full-time appointed or hourly contracted director of finance for the city of Fostoria, Ohio, and declaring an emergency to exist.
Move to adopt.
Second.
We have a motion by Lehman, a second by Cassidy. Clerk, would you call the roll, please?
Lehman,
Yes.
Kodak,
Yes.
Cassidy,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
Grine,
Yes.
Mendoza,
Yes.
Guernsey.
Yes.
That carries, and in a moment I'll figure out what number.
It's 9.
What is it?
9.
Okay. Thank you. That becomes resolution number 2026-09. 09.
If that's wrong, I didn't say it.
No, it's
An ordinance adopting and amending ordinance number 2025-83, permanent 2026 appropriations by appropriating from unappropriated funds in the general fund and sewer fund and declaring an emergency to exist.
I'd like to move for an amendment to that. We need to change the title, enter the word sewer in title, and then under section 2, the 36,000 needs to both read in printed form and numerical form, 36,000.
We're removing the words revolving loan fund, I believe, is part
Okay.
of the title. Is that
I missed
okay with
that.
your motion?
Yes.
Okay, so we have a motion to first amend the title, removing revolving loan fund, adding sewer fund, and then in section 2, memorializing both the written and the numerical expression of the 36,000. That motion is on the floor by Lehman. Is there a second?
Second.
All right, we have a second by Podak. Clerk, would you call the roll, please?
Kodak,
Yes.
Cassidy,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
Grine,
Yes.
Mendoza,
Yes.
Guernsey,
Yes.
Lehman.
Yes.
That amendment does carry.
Move to suspend the 3 reading rule on 3 separate occasions.
Second.
We have a motion by Lehman, a second by Cassidy to suspend the 3 reading rule on 3 separate occasions. Clerk, would you call the roll, please?
Cassidy,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
Grine,
Yes.
Mendoza,
Yes.
Guernsey,
Yes.
Lehman,
Yes.
Kodak,
Yes.
Cassidy.
Yes.
You already
Sorry, sorry.
can't vote twice.
Yes,
Um,
again.
That does carry. The 3 reading rule has been waived.
Move to adopt.
Second.
We have a motion by Lehman, a second by Baker to adopt. Clerk, would you call the roll, please?
Baker,
Yes.
Grine,
Yes.
Mendoza,
Yes.
Guernsey,
Yes.
Lehman,
Yes.
Kodak,
Yes.
Cassidy.
Yes.
That passes. It becomes ordinance number 2026-1010.
A resolution approving and ratifying the prior acts of the department heads and safety service director and approving then and now certificates for said expenditures and declaring an emergency.
Move to suspend the three reading rule on three separate occasions.
Second.
We have a motion by Lehman, a second by Baker to suspend the three reading rule on three separate occasions. Clerk, would you call the roll, please?
Lehman,
Yes.
Podak,
Yes.
Cassidy,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
Grine,
Yes.
Mendoza,
Yes.
Guernsey.
Yes.
The three reading rule has been waived.
To adopt. Second.
We have a motion by Podak, a second by Grine to adopt. Clerk, would you call the roll, please?
Podak,
Yes.
Cassidy,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
Grine,
Yes.
Mendoza,
Yes.
Guernsey,
Yes.
Lehman.
Yes.
That motion carries. It is adopted. Resolution number 2026-11 or 11.
An ordinance enacting new section 1125.13 of chapter 1125 of the codified ordinances of the city of Fostoria, Ohio, entitled Portable Storage Containers.
That was the second reading of that ordinance.
An ordinance renumbering and amending section 371.14 of chapter 371 of the codified ordinances of the city of Fostoria, Ohio, entitled Low Speed Micromobility Devices.
That is the second reading of that ordinance.
An ordinance authorizing the city of Fostoria to participate in the BFI Waste Services Class Action Settlement and declaring an emergency to exist.
It's the second reading of that ordinance.
An ordinance authorizing the city of Fostoria to participate in the PVC Pipe Antitrust Class Action Settlement against Oil Price Information Service, LLC, Opus, and declaring an emergency to exist.
It's the second reading of that ordinance.
An ordinance establishing the position of full-time Assistant Safety Service Director for the city of Fostoria, Ohio, and declaring an emergency to exist.
That
Mr.
is-
President,
Sure.
sorry, I'd like to move to amend the ordinance to add a new section 4 as follows. The mayor's office and safety service department collectively shall be limited to one administrative support position, either the assistant safety service director or the administrative assistant, but not both unless expressly authorized by ordinance of council, and to renumber all subsequent sections accordingly.
We have a second to that motion.
Discussion?
Discussion.
I am going back and forth on this a little bit. We are making some changes. I oppose this. Realistically, at this point, I don't see a real need for it. Possibly down the road. But at this time, as we're kind of putting people in place and strengthening our leadership team here, I really don't think this is necessary. And I certainly hope the administration doesn't take this addition as an offense or anything negative about the job that they're doing. I'm very concerned about that because I think that the strength of this administration is outstanding. The attitude of all the city employees, outstanding. The mayor, the safety service director dealt with about a year ago, very serious health issues. Coincidentally, it all occurred at the same time, and I can't express my gratitude for the department heads and all the employees of the city, the way everybody picked up the pace and continued to take care of business. I don't think you find another community on earth where people pulled together and worked any more unselfishly and positive for this community. So at this point, take it to a vote if you wish, but I really think it's really unnecessary.
Any other discussion on this amendment proposal?
I'll just add that I agree wholeheartedly with your sentiment. And I guess my thought was just to have the intent match the language, and that was it.
We could start doing that, but we can go through all the ordinances. There's a lot of red ink we could burn up on that too. So I'm just one voice amongst, so.
Any other discussion on this proposed amendment? Is there a second to this proposed amendment?
I'll second the motion.
We do have a second by Lehman. So there is a motion on the floor to add the section 4, as described and written by. Yes, sir.
Not my meeting, but I mean, this is our kind of, our position. And so I just want to throw in, I think I understand the intent of the change. And I think our intention was that either, I see the idea of either like sunsetting this at some point or something, toward the end of, because this is really special case that we're dealing with. There's not always going to be someone, so I don't know, that would fit this bill. So I don't know. There probably should be something for in the future that we don't get too top heavy because we're trying to add too many upper management positions. So I don't know if it's the right way or wrong way to go about it, but I understand what you're saying. I think Don and I agree that because of this being a very special case, because this person has very, the talent to do both of those positions, that I don't know if that's the wording that's correct, but I agree with the intent. So I don't, just wanted to let you know, I don't think we had discussed that a little bit. At first I was a little bit taken aback, but I think that we understand the intent and really don't feel slighted in that way. I don't speak for you, Don, but
Yeah, I felt the same way initially, but I'm comfortable, I think, with it the way it is.
I just felt that we have the
yeah,
authority as council, if an issue comes up, we can probably draft legislation that would be probably more direct and meaningful to, depending on the situation itself.
yeah. Well, and so I think the discussion that we had is that at some point, the term is going to end at the end of the 4-year term. And so there'll be reappointments, with the election, you do reappointments to boards and such. So maybe that is the time that it's addressed. I don't know. I just wanted to be part of the discussion that we didn't at first didn't understood the intent, because we had discussed the idea that, going forward, there may not be someone that fits this exact position. So, I don't know if I muddied the waters enough to make it confusing, but just wanted to throw in what the thoughts were when we discussed that.
Is there any other discussion at this time?
Weigh in, if I may.
Sure.
I appreciate so much what this team does to develop talent and encourage growth within the employee ranks. So I value so much what you're doing with this. I also value what Amy's doing with this. And as a former treasurer, there's no quicker way to blow up a budget than with payroll. And I guess I have a hard time getting past that history of mine, having seen that. I think that she's trying to protect our budget. I also see what Mr. Cassidy's saying, because no one wants you to feel like you're being micromanaged. But I do think that the amendment accomplishes what you want to accomplish, and what Amy has suggested to protect our finances into the future, because it won't always be you. We're going to walk out of here tonight, and however this is settled, it's going to be settled. And we're not going to remember it 6 months from now. We're not going to remember, oh, we've got to go back and fix that before we have 2 positions instead of 1. So that's just my belief.
Any other discussion before we call the motion to a vote? Seeing none, the motion on the table is to add that section 4 as specified by Councilperson Mendoza. Clerk, would you call the roll, please?
Lehman,
Yes.
Podak,
Yes.
Cassidy,
No,
Baker,
Yes.
Grine,
Yes.
Mendoza,
Yes.
Guernsey.
Yes.
That motion does carry. Section 4 will be added. And that was the second reading of that ordinance, and we will have that into the ordinance for the next reading. Thank you for great discussion. And that concludes old business. We'll move into new business. So whenever you're ready, clerk, you can read the first item on new business.
A resolution to authorize, direct, and empower the mayor on behalf of the city of Fostoria, Ohio, to execute an application with the Ohio Department of Development, Office of Community Enhancements for up to $1,050,000 in funds for program year 2026 Community Housing Impact and Preservation Program CHIP funds.
This is the first reading of that resolution.
A resolution to authorize, direct, and empower the mayor on behalf of the city of Fostoria, Ohio, to enter into a joint cooperating agreement between Seneca County, the city of Tiffin, and the city of Fostoria for the program year 2026 Community Housing Impact and Preservation CHIP program for the purpose of addressing local housing needs and declaring an emergency to exist.
That is the first reading of that resolution.
An ordinance accepting the recommendation of the Tax Incentive Review Council and declaring an emergency to exist.
That is the first reading of that ordinance. I understand that there's a couple reasons to go into executive session, so I'll entertain that motion in a second. But Mr. Safety Service Director, do you anticipate business to follow yours? Okay, because I wasn't sure of that. And then if we'll go ahead and entertain a motion if someone's so inclined.
I'd like to make a motion to enter executive session for personnel matters, specifically to consider the appointment, employment, dismissal, discipline, promotion, demotion, or compensation of a public employee or official.
Do we have a second for that motion?
Second.
All right, we have a motion by Lehman, a second by Podak. Clerk, would you call the roll, please?
Lehman,
Yes.
Podak,
Yes.
Cassidy,
yes,
Baker,
Yes.
Grine,
Yes.
Mendoza, Guernsey.
Yes.
All right, in transparency, just to let you know, there is potentially business to follow after this in the sense that the committee is going to be discussing the finance position. They're going to be specifically discussing, and I can say this without revealing too much, another round of employment or of interviews. We're not going to be hiring anybody this evening, but that may require us to have a special meeting in the future. So that would be the only thing that would be new business or business to follow would be announcing a special meeting. Other than that, there's going to be no business to follow. The newspaper would publish the special meeting date if that's the direction we go. I just don't want to say there's no business to follow because that is a potential piece that could follow, but that's the only piece that could follow. And because of that, I'm going to go ahead and do miscellaneous business before we go into executive session. Okay, we'll go ahead and do 2 votes then, because I thought the first one went into that, but you're right, it does not.
Okay.
Right.
I thought it was the same two. I apologize.
Where is the collective? Oh, it is. It's another item. So we'll go ahead and vote on the first one for that we've talked about, and then we'll just go ahead and do a second one just so we're not muddy in the waters. So with that, we have a motion for that first executive session by Lehman and Podak. Clerk, would you call the roll, please?
Lehman,
Yes.
Podak,
Yes.
Cassidy,
yes.
Baker,
Yes.
Grine,
Yes.
Mendoza,
Yes.
Guernsey.
Yes.
All right, that one does carry. Is there a motion for the second one for collective bargaining matters?
So moved.
Cassidy
Second.
and Grine. So that second executive session motion is for the collective bargaining matters. Thanks, Law Director. Clerk, would you call the roll?
Lehman,
Yes.
Hodak,
Yes.
Cassidy,
Yes?
Baker,
Yes.
Grine,
Yes.
Mendoza,
Yes.
Guernsey.
Yes.
That one does carry, and we will announce what time we go into executive session at the end of miscellaneous business. So does anyone have any miscellaneous business this evening? Seeing none, we will go into executive session at 6:40.
Because you don't remember.
All right, I think we've all made it back into the room, so if we could come back to order, that would be much appreciated. So again, if we could come back to order. We have a motion to come out of executive session.
Move.
Got a motion by Cassidy. Yes, do we have a second?
Second?
By Mendoza. Clerk, would you call the roll, please?
Lehman,
Yes.
Kodak,
Yes.
Cassidy,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
Grine,
Yes.
Mendoza.
Yes.
Guernsey.
Yes.
All right, we are officially out of executive session at 7:26. We do have an item, and just correct me if I'm wrong, but we would like to schedule a special meeting, or we will be scheduling a special meeting for March 18th, Wednesday, March 18th at 5 PM in these chambers. That meeting, the agenda item on that meeting will be interviews for a finance director position with the entire council. And that'll be the only agenda item, and most of the meeting will be conducted in executive session. So that is that. Any other business for the good of the whole that doesn't violate the fact that I said there'd be no new business? All right, if not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved. Second.
We have a motion by Grine, second by Baker to adjourn. Clerk, would you call the roll, please?
Lehman,
Yes.
Kodak,
Yes.
Cassidy,
Yes.
Baker, Grine,
Yes.
Mendoza.
Yes.
Guernsey.
Yes.
All right, we are adjourned at 7:27.